Welcome to Stuff's wrap of the second day of the America's Cup match. He's Joe Pearson, I'm Todd Nile. Only one race today, but what an absolute race, or should I say what a start. I think we're still looking for a headline for that one. Was it the most dramatic ever AC75 start? Anyway, let's just get on with things. The third encounter between Team New Zealand and Ineos Britannia, with Team New Zealand 2-0 up at the start of the day, and then they came together. And how? Talk us through it, Joe.
Well, it's a wild start. It's like this boat behind us here. But essentially they came very, very close to a collision, as close as you can actually see in these America's Cup races with these AC75s. Ben Ensley said centimetres, jokingly. But it really was only a matter of meters. And what we see in these graphics is they have the diamonds around the boats, and it gives an umpire an indication of whether they're sort of in breach of the boundary space around each boat. And they both protested because they both thought they had the right of way, and it went against Britannia. And Team New Zealand were pretty adamant in the mixed zone interviews we've just had as well that they were surprised that Britannia made that manoeuvre in trying to keep that line and almost try and get ahead of them. And yeah, it was very costly for Britannia in the end, because it gives them a 75-metre penalty. They have to drop back, and then Team New Zealand, whoosh, off they go.
Yeah,
And see you later. Yeah.
As a spectator to watch it, it was a heart stopper. So the boats are coming head on towards each other, and at some point somebody's got to blink and turn away, and at the last moment they both turned in the same direction. And I guess the graphics will eventually say whether it was centimetres that the two foils missed each other by. But really, after that, and the penalty, as you say, that Ineos Britannia got hit with, wasn't completely game over, but really from there on in, that 75 metres kind of grew and grew, eh?
Well, we're hearing all the time how important the starts are, which is a bit of a sailing cliche, but I think in these particular match races it really is so important, because it gives that leading boat essentially the route to pit, the path to victory in a way, without a rival in the way. And it's a long way back for Ineos Britannia from here. Really, it's just going to be a struggle to see how they can overhaul Team New Zealand, who again, once they get away, they look so fast, they look unstoppable. And we've got the delayed. The second race today was obviously postponed because of low winds, which is being held tomorrow. So that gives us another race tomorrow instead of 2 reserve days back to back. And it's still all on for the Brits. They're in a lot of bother, really, if they want to win the Cup.
Yeah, I mean, at the risk of overstating how difficult the challenge is for them, I mean, the language off the boat after the second, so into the third leg, Dylan Fletcher saying, "Well, what was the line? There's not much we can do, lads."
Well, yeah, I mean, that's telling. If it's the opposite of fighting talk, it's almost defeatist, isn't it? And I guess the mood amongst their team can't be too great. I think they'll sort of be resilient, but are we seeing the effects of that Challenger final? Like, mentally, that was such a huge hurdle for them to overcome, and I guess beating the Kiwis might be one too far. I guess we'll obviously see in the next week or so how that plays out, but it's Team New Zealand who are in a strong position, of course.
To dust off the old line, tomorrow is another day. One race tomorrow, the one we didn't get today, so join us and we'll see how that one went.